Hi everyone. So yesterday we were discussed about SOQL, right? Salesforce Object Query Language. So we were discussing about for SOQL, right? So let's go ahead and how to implement for the SOQL. Yesterday we have understood how to write the SOQL query. Right, usually we will write it like this: select name, comma, phone, comma, fax. In case if I wanted to take any other information, I can take those details: industry, comma, rating, comma, billing city. So this is the output I got it. Now what I'll do is I'll take everything of this query, Control C, and now I'll try to implement the list of account. I'll give a name to this list. Let's say ACC list equal to. Now we used to do the initialization. What we used to do, list of account ACC list equal to new list of account. This is my initialization. This is initialization. When I do this, that means there is something new data is going to come up and sit into this list collection. Could be a new data, could be an existing data. But right now what I'm doing is I am querying the data, right? So when I'm querying the data, that means I'm getting the data from database. When I query it, it is going to get the data from database. So what I can do is instead of initialization, I can directly put a query here, but it has to be in the square brackets. Within the square brackets, I'll put that query. Now what will happen? Now this entire query has result is the list of the records. The query result is list of the records. That's what we got it here. When I ran the same query, I got a total 82 records, right? 82 records, which is a list of records it is pulled. So the list of records, I'm going to put it into the collection, which is a list collection. Now, if I try to print system.debug, and let's print the ACC list. Execute the highlighted one. Debug. What happened? This entire, all the information it has taken. All the information it has taken here, from starting from here, one account and ending here, first account. Second account is starting here. And the third account is starting here. So entire list it has taken. Now, instead of the complete list, I just wanted to know the size of the list. So what I can give dot size. Execute the highlighted one. Debug. The size is 82. That's what we got the output, right? 82. So total records it has pulled and it is kept to the list. It added to the list of account. Now, for example, I have these many records, right? I have 82 records. I wanted to go through each line by line. First, I wanted to go through the Melissa record. Then I wanted to go through the LWC account. Then I wanted to go through the test account, then Microsoft Accenture. So I wanted to go through the each record line by line. In that case, what I'll do, I'll go for the for loop. For loop, I'll use account because I'm going to loop through the account. So for loop, this side is always either a subject or either primitive data type. So here my S object is account. And which one I'm going to loop through it? ACC list, I'm going to loop through it. So I'll put it after the colon. Now let me give a name to it, which is ACC. I'll give a name. So that means I'm looping through the account. This ACC list is referring to the account indirectly. So that's the reason here I have given the Sobject name as an account. But in case if this is talking about the primitive data, you have to give here primitive data. Right now, open the for loop, system.debug. Now I'll print each line. I'll print the each line. And let me go ahead and execute this highlighted one. Debug. See, each line it has printed. How many times it printed the each individual line? It printed 82 times. Right? So all the records it has given and it is printing me the each and every record. So what is this called? This is called basically for SOQL statement. For SOQL statement. First I am getting the all the list and I'm storing into the account. And then I'm looping through the, based on this result, I'm looping through the each record and getting the record. Now, here we have written the, I assume that we have written the 6 steps, right? We have written the 6 steps. Now, instead of doing this SOQL query and putting into the list collection, can I directly put inside this for loop? Can I put this within the for loop, this SOQL query?
Yes.
So we can put that, it is possible. When I say you can put it, it's, you should not be putting within the curly braces. Within the curly braces, you should not be putting, but with in the for loop, when you are declaring the for loop, there we can add it. So what I'm doing, ACC list. So I replace the ACC list, whatever it has, with the SOQL query. Now, once the curly braces are open, now inside these curly braces, you cannot write the SOQL. Inside these curly braces, you cannot write the SOQL. We should not be writing it. That is not a best practice. Now again, I'll go here. Let me give here some value. New for loop. Let's execute this. Debug. See how many times it printed? It printed 82 times. After that, this is my loop is started. Is there any difference between the previous and now? There is no difference. Everything it is printed. Right? So assume that I have a something name called dummy. Okay. Now what I'll do is, instead of querying everything, I wanted to query the accounts which are name equal to dummy. So I'll put a where condition, name equal to, I'll give dummy. So what will happen? It is going to print me the only the records where the name equal to dummy is there. No, the name is dummy account. It's not a dummy. Okay, let me take this. This will give complete list, but the second one will give only the few data. Debug. See, for loop only 5 data it is given. Now, in case if I wanted to delete something, in case if I wanted to delete these dummy account records. Okay, I wanted to delete the dummy account records. So ideally what you will do, DML operation, you will do it inside the delete ACC, right? We used to do delete ACC, but do not do the DML operation within the for loop. This is the wrong one. We should never do it. We have to do after the for loop. But when I come after the for loop, my ACC will be there within the for loop. Now, how can I capture when I come out of this for loop? How do I know what is the ACC value? I cannot know the ACC value. So that's the reason what we will do is we will take a list of one collection. We will take list of account. Let's give a name to this list, delete account equal to, I'm going to initialize this list. Account. Now what I'll do, I'll take this delete and inside the for loop, I'll use this and whatever the data that is coming up to the whichever is the dummy accounts are there, I'm going to put each and individual account inside the list. That means I got the individual records here and I'm adding the individual record to the list. And finally, I'll take this list instead of ACC, I'll take this list and I'll delete it. Is this clear? This part is clear.
Yep.
Everybody?
You forgot the semicolon after adding ACC.
Yeah. Is everybody okay with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So now what I'm doing is I'm adding the list. What are the single records that I'm getting it? Each single record I am adding into the list of collection. Right? I'm adding into the list of collection. Now what I can do, I can delete the account. Now finally, I'll take out this. Now I'm going to put after this delete. Okay, because we will be deleting, we should not be getting in case if I'm looping through the ACC list. ACC list is complete query. Okay. Now I'll show you something. I'm querying it here. Where I'm querying it? Before the for loop. Before deleting the data, I'm querying it. But what will happen after deleting the data if I try to print this data? Right now, what I'm doing, I'm querying everything I'm storing into the ACC list. Then I'm deleting the records, again querying it from the account, where the dummy account. Now, whatever I'm printing it here for loop, this ACC list, where is this ACC list? This is the previous of deleting the data. Now, is this ACC list does contain the dummy account or it will remove the dummy account?
Will remove the
After
dummy account.
deleting, it will remove it.
Okay. So we have deleted this. Now, what is this? This is the query, 18th line. We are deleting at the starting phase. 10th line, we are deleting it, right? But after that, again, I'm printing the values, but still I'm getting the dummy account. So what might be the reason here?
Is it a soft delete?
No, it's not soft delete. The reason is I'm querying the data before I do any operation. 2 times I'm querying it. One, I'm querying and I'm storing into the collection. That is done. Again, I'm querying the data and deleting the data. Now, what it does here, whatever stored into the collection list, it is just going to take that. This is ACC list is not going to query after that. Whatever is stored into the list of account, it is going to loop through that. Now, if I take out this and if I write after delete account, then what will happen? It doesn't show me the dummy account because we are doing the query after deletion. 77 records, right? It deleted the dummy accounts.
So before you deleted, you added that the list, all the list of account into the particular list. That's why it's
Yes, because we
DRM,
have
right?
this whenever we did a query, I already added into the container. I'm done with the query part. I'm done with the query part. I added into one container, which is a collection list. Now again, I'm querying the data. Here I'm not doing any data, any actions or any data manipulation. I'm not doing it any. So I've just taken the data and stored into the account list, right? But next time, whatever I'm doing it, again, I'm querying the data where the name equal to dummy account, where the name equal to dummy account, and I'm deleting it. This is perfectly fine. But after deleting the account, what I'm doing it, ACC list. What is this ACC list? ACC list is a container. Here, after deleting it, I'm not querying it. So whatever the existing data is there, it just take it. Is everybody clear on this?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So coming to the data manipulation. Coming to the data manipulation. So let's understand what is DML. Data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. Dynamic SOQL is much further. That is, if we are clear on the normal SQL, okay, I'll come later. That will come later. Okay, so DML. Let's understand the DML, data manipulation language. Now, what is a data manipulation language? So basically, Apex program that enables the developer to perform a CRUD operation. What is a CRUD operation? CRUD operation is create, retrieve, update, and delete. Right? So basically, what is the DML is nothing but Apex program that enables the developer to perform CRUD operation. CRUD operation. So either I can perform a create, I can perform a retrieve, I can perform a update, I can perform a delete. Either of one, I can do it. I means developer can do you inside the Apex program. Basically, CRUD operation means playing with the data. If you want to update a data, or if you want to delete a data, or if you want to insert a data, or if you want to merge a data, then we can using the CRUD operation, we can do that. Now there are two types of DML statements. Two types of DML statements. First one is atomic DML, non-atomic DML. not atomic, it's atomic. Atomic DML and non-atomic DML. There are two types of DML, right? So what is atomic, non-atomic? So atomic is nothing but normal straightforward DML statements. Normal DML statements. Where it is non-atomic is nothing but database class methods. Database class methods. Right? So this DML, this atomic is nothing but DML statements. DML statements are just a normal, right? When I say DML statements means either it is insert, create, update, straightforward, which we use it. Whereas database class methods is nothing but this is specially provided by the Salesforce. This is provided by the Salesforce, which is an inbuilt class, database class methods. So here, when I say DML statement insert means here how to use the database class, I have to use the database dot, I need to use the insert. If it is an update, then we have to use the class name dot update method. Upsert. If it is an upsert, then I have to use the class name dot upsert. Delete. In the atomic and in the non-atomic, I have to use the class name dot delete method. And here undelete. In that case, we have to use the Database.undelete method. And the last one is merge. So merge is a normal DML statement. For the database class methods is it is a Database.merge. Okay. In program, which one do we refer? So in program, either I can go with the atomic or I can go with the non-atomic. So non-atomic, what will happen? It will take a bunch of records. Here, when I say insert, insert is nothing but single record is inserting it. Single record I'm inserting. But if I have multiple records, let's assume that I have a multiple records. If it is a multiple records, I can use the insert also. I can use the DML statement. I can use the DML statement. But if you use the database dot, what is the difference that is going to happen if I use the insert and if I use the database.insert? What is the difference it is going to happen? Sorry?
There are some partial updates can also happen.
Partial updates. Okay. And what are other things? Just a second. Okay. Okay. So database dot, if I use the database class, That means there is some difference at the backend. If I use normal insert, if I use the database class, there is a difference while performing at the backend. So when I say difference is nothing but, for example, I'm inserting, let's assume that 500 records. 500 records I'm inserting. So in the DML statement, what will happen if I try to insert 500 records and out of 500, there are some records which are failed. When it is failed, it will, what it will do, it will insert everything or it will take back.
It will not insert everything.
Why it will not insert?
Because of error, it will get rollback.
It will get rollback.
Yes.
And if I go with the database.insert,
Then whatever before error, whatever the data is supposed to be inserted, that will get done. And after, means there's something, then nothing kind of thing.
what will happen with the database.insert? I'm not clear on that.
No, means like, if suppose if you are inserting 500 records and suppose error occurred at 100th place, so that 100 data will be get inserted and 400 get rolled back, I mean to say.
Okay. So what will happen to those 4 records?
That 400 records, it will back again to the rollback, it will be rolled back,
Okay. But in case I wanted to roll back everything,
Then you should go with the insert then direct.
no, I wanted
no.
to use the database.insert itself, but I wanted to roll back everything.
There's a true or false something, all or none
Yes.
in the input parameters.
Yeah. So basically, database.insert is a flexible compared to insert. This developer can play with database.class. Okay. I can decide with, developer can decide if I have a 500 records, if there is something is wrong, should I need to process the whatever is successful? Let's assume that 400 records are successful. Process 400 records, leave the 100 records because the 100 records are having the error, right? So I can do that. Or if there is any error, roll back everything. Roll back everything, similar to the insert. So there is a flexibility on the database.insert. There is a flexibility. Developer can play with the database.insert. Developer can play with database.insert. Now, how do I do that? Whether I can process it or not? What is the thing that I can do it? So if I say in the insert, we have a something called, let's take this example, database.insert. Now I'll go back to this. Okay, here we are using the atomic or non-atomic. Are we using the atomic or non-atomic? Which DML are we using it?
Atomic.
Atomic, we are using it. So let me change this back to database.delete. Now inside the database.delete, how can I perform? Like we have a something called, as soon as you give the database dot, it is going to populate the, because database is existing one. Database is existing one. So it is asking, you can do delete multiple. So delete S object, only S object you can give. Inside the only S object we can give. That means delete of, I can give the S object. So if I do the delete of S object, what is going to happen? Now let's assume that instead of delete, I'll take some other one, loop technology. There is something called loop technology. Instead of delete, what I'll do is update. I'm going to update the information. ACC dot phone equal to, let's say I'm going to give the information 1, 2, 3, and I'll give the A, B, C. First of all, does it accept or not in the account level? Okay, let's go to the Salesforce, sales console. And let me go to the account. Now let's see if this is the account. And let's give the name. And if I try to enter some value here, it is taking the value. That's not good. Does it have an email?
It's an account.
Yeah.
Account will not have an email, right? Contact.
Yeah, it will be there in the contact. But is there anything that I can give which is going to fail? Okay, let me take the annual revenue. Edit page. Edit page. Edit object. So basically what I'm trying to say is, in case if I'm trying to update any information here, okay, now we are, instead of delete, I'm updating the phone number. So I'll take this as a update account. Okay, and this update account, I'll add the account and we'll try to update it. Either I can simply pass the S object. I can pass the whatever the S object is there, list of S object. I can directly pass the list of object, or I can pass the single object also is possible. Otherwise database dot, we have a update. In update, I can pass the list of S object, or I can say access level. So we have a something called update list of S object, Apex object DML options, right? And also we have a DML options, comma, access level. And then we have a Boolean all or nothing. And we have a Boolean all or nothing as well as the access level. Now we are going to see this in our classes further. So do not worry about that. So database.save result. This is
Access
something.
level, it means, sorry, what does access level? It tells basically if you have access to delete it or not. What does?
Yeah, similar to whether we have access to the object, Apex object or not.
Okay.
And also we have a something called update asynchronous. There is a synchronous update is there as well as the update asynchronous is there. Okay, update asynchronous is basically will have same parameters, but this is going to be the asynchronous and this is a synchronous. And as well as we have a update immediate. So update immediate is which is quickly, as soon as the data is updated inside the for loop, I do not want to wait anything. I just wanted to immediately update it. Sometimes what happens is if there is any other processes running on, then this update is going to wait. If I do not write update immediate, if I write the just update, then it is going to wait for the another process to complete, then it is going to update it. But here, if I say I'm update immediately, which is going to update it, as soon as the data is set, then it is going to update everything. We'll see what are the differences of this. Okay. But right now, what I wanted to explain is here, when we have a update, okay, inside the update, I wanted to give the list of collection, the object list. So I'm giving the object list. Now here I have a second parameter, which is called as a false or which is called as a true. So what will happen if I try to, if I say true? If I say true, what will happen? If I say false, what will happen?
All or none is true then, Boolean. So basically, are you making it, are you accepting partial updates? Yes or no?
Yes. So am I, like this is going to decide, this will give the flexibility to the developer to decide whether do I wanted to roll back everything or not. If I wanted to roll back, go ahead and put the true. If I do not want to roll back and execute whatever is completed, then to put the false. Right? So that's how we use the DML. So there are many things which we have to learn in the DML, because initially when the Salesforce has came up, they just came up with the only 3 methods. Only 3 methods in 3 methods in a sense, every method will used to have only 3 options. Like in the delete, it used to have only the delete, list of IDs, or list of a subject, and list of a subject, comma, there was a Boolean value, all or nothing. Only these 3 they have came up. Now they are like Salesforce is keep on increasing the flexibility of the non-atomic classes, which is a database class.
Quickly on async, if because I have never seen that, this is new.
Yeah.
So for async, if we use that, do we really need then future methods, or that async will handle that?
We have to, I guess we have to use the future method. We'll see that. Okay. Because if I'm writing the synchronous class and if I'm trying to do the asynchronous, how it is going to happen? Does it impact or not? That is the main question. Right? If I'm writing the normal synchronous class and I'm doing the update asynchronous. So does it really matter what are the process that I'm doing it and what are the CRUD operation is doing it? Both has to match or it has to be different. So we'll see that later. These all will come in our next classes. But right now we are trying to understand the basic. So once this is clear, then we will go on to the next level. So this is DML operation. And coming back to the question, Venkatesh. No, back to Rahul. Okay, so back to your question. So for example, in the SOQL, we see sometimes equal to colon. Sometimes we see in colon. What is this means? In colon equal to colon, and when do we have to use it? So ideally, if you are writing the SOQL query, if you are writing the SOQL query here at the bottom. Okay, let's assume that I'm writing the SOQL query here, execute. So what will happen? It is giving the name equal to, this is just a straightforward. Let's assume that I am, whatever this data is there, okay, this data is coming from, somebody is passing the data. Somebody is passing the data. Who is that somebody? Let's assume that we have some logic, whereas the string name, let's assume that I am only the passing the value to the query. String, I'll give a search name equal to, I'll give this. String search name equal to Loop Technology 1908. Now I wanted to pass this information to the, what are the search name? What is this search name? Basically, when we go to the Salesforce, you search here, right? You search those values. That means somebody is searching here. As soon as somebody is searched, this has to store into the database. Some variable has to be taken this. And when I click on search, then it should give me the related information that is there inside the object, inside the account or inside wherever we have the information, right? It should give me the all the data. So same thing, I'm searching this one. Now, whatever the name that I'm searching into the global, I should pass this information to this query. I should pass the information to this query. So how can I pass? So should I, if I give this search name, does it work? If I pass the search name, does it work? Now let me go ahead and let me comment out this. I'll go ahead and execute this. Let's see what will happen. Execute. Search name is unexpected token, where 12th line. It is not able to understand, though it is a string, but it is not able to understand the search name. Because it doesn't know, this is just a query. Query doesn't know whether it is a string or you are giving some text or whether you are giving a number. It just accepts that. In order to differentiate, to tell the query that this is a string that I am passing it from the outside. To tell the query, what I'll do is I'll just mention the colon. I'll just mention the equal to colon. So what will happen? It try to understand. Let's see that. Now if I give the equal to colon, when I say equal to colon means it understood. When I say colon, Salesforce convert this colon into the some other thing to understand. Okay, they have written the colon. That means some string has passed. Could be a primitive data type or could be a collection or some data which is passing from the outside. They are not writing the where condition directly. Okay, it should not be a colon equal to. If you try to write here colon equal to, is it a valid or not? It doesn't understand. Colon always has to be there after equal to. So when it is there, equal to colon means Salesforce is convert that equal to colon to the sums, their understandable format to make sure that, okay, this is the query that is written in the code and they are passing the data from outside for the where condition. And when it is says equal to colon means it is a single value. When it is equal to means it is a single value. We cannot give only colon. It has to be combined with the equal to colon. If you give a colon, then it will not even understand this. Let's go ahead and see. Unexpected token. It will not even understand. You have to give the equal to colon. So while running this execution, while executing this code in the Salesforce at the backend, there might be some JavaScript or some language Salesforce has written to look for the equal to colon is there. That means they are passing a data from the outside to the SOQL query. And if it is a equal to colon means single string, single value. Only one value they are passing it. In case I have a multiple values, let's assume that I'm declaring it as a set of string. Set of string contains the multiple values, right? Search names, or let's give a different set search equal to new set of string, new set of string. Now here search string, right now it is a empty. Okay, now I'm going to add it. Which value I'm going to add it? I'll add the single value to the set. So that means right now this is a multiple values are there, right? Right now it is a multiple values are there.
Mhm.
Now, in case if I wanted to give the multiple values in the query, in case if I wanted to give the multiple values in the query, this equal to does not work. Instead of equal to, you have to give a space in colon. When Salesforce see in colon is there, that means there is a multiple values that is passed from the somewhere to the query. If I try to execute this, in parameter must be used within the iterable expressions. What is wrong here? Iterable expression. Let's take this out. Control X. List of account ACC new list equal to, I'm going to give this. Now let's see. Let's execute this. What is wrong?
In the for loop, you have not passed the list.
That should be fine, but I'm executing only this part. I'm executing the 14th line, 9th to 14th line.
Okay, I think can you please again go back? It's set search. It's saying search name. Okay.
The problem is
You're adding
if
it
we
to
are
set
passing
search.
set, then we should not be using the normal. Actually, I'm passing the different value.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. Yes, you should put set search here.
Yeah, set search, and it is a method. Because when I'm giving this, I cannot give this set search directly. If I give the set search, what will happen? It is going to, did it take?
It should.
Let me give this in the query. Okay, now let's take out this. Execute. Debug. Yes, it has taken. Before, what was happening is I gave the search name. Here it is saying that in equal to, and then I'm saying the search name here. That means this tells me that there is a multiple values, but here we are passing the single value. So that's the reason system got confused. Which one is the right one, whether in equal to is the right one, or whether it is a search name is equal to a search name is a right one. So that's the reason it was giving an error. Now, instead of that, now I'm going to match. So when it is in equal to, that means it is going to Salesforce is going to understand in equal to is nothing but multiple values that are going to pass to this query. Now, if I try to execute this, now this is going to give the information. Rahul, are you clear on this? Okay. So that's the one. And next, we will talk more about database tomorrow. Because there is a lot of things we have to dig into the database class.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Here we have multiple values. Then we take in and column.
Yeah.
Okay. If it in case is there any single value, then you will take equal and column.
Yes.
And I have two strings. Okay. In method level, I have two strings. Mi pass equal to colon and these two methods inside where class.
Two strings which are going to talk about the same field, or is the two strings are one string is related to the name, one string is related to the phone? How are the two strings?
Yes.
No, how is the two strings? Like a one string is talking about a name and another string which I have, which is going to talk about search phone. So do you have this kind of a concept, or do you have a same two strings which are talking about the name?
I have two doubts. Now you will. Now I raise one doubt also. Okay.
No, let's
Is it
clarify.
possible?
Hold on a second. Let's clarify this first, and you will go to the next one.
Yeah.
So what is this?
Okay, okay.
When you say two strings, are they talking about? Are they talking to the same field, or are they talking to the different field?
Different field.
Different field. If it is a different field, then you have to put it two conditions: equal to colon search name, and then you have a phone. Which is talking about search phone. I'm going to pass the search phone. Now I have a look for the one which are having the name is loop technology as well as and condition. That means I'm saying here and condition is nothing but two conditions has to be qualified. Two conditions has to be qualified, then only my query is going to give me the result.
Okay.
Okay, in case if you have integer string, okay. So phone number is a string. But in case if you have two strings which are talking to the same name, if you have a two strings which are talking to the same name, better put it into the set.
Okay.
Yes, next question.
In method, in a class level, we use the methods, right?
Mhm.
In the method level, we pass the parameters. Okay.
Mhm.
I pass the two parameters. Am I use the two parameters in where class?
We can use it.
Like this only.
Parameter, my question to you, when you are passing the parameter, okay, is my parameter is talking about string or is it talking about list or set? What is the data type for that? Or is it a Sobject? What is the parameter data type?
String.
If it is a string, okay, and if it is matching with your Salesforce field data type, then you can use it.
Okay. Okay.
In case if your Salesforce data type is a pick list and you are passing the parameter is a string, or maybe here Salesforce database is number and you are passing the value as a string, then that does not work.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, clear.
So next class, we will fully focus on the database.
If I want to pass two names, then I need to put another search here. Set search add search name.
Another string means which one you are talking about? For the same name?
Yeah, same name. Yeah.
In case if you have a multiple search strings are there, put everything into the set and pass the set here
Okay. Okay. Good.
using the in colon.
Yeah, it should be in the income. Okay.
Let's suppose we are like we have to find account that are associated with contact. At that time, we are using the ID in concept. So, which is like the same or how it will be?
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, let's suppose I want the contact which are related to the account, like only the account and contacts should be there. Without the account, contact should not be there. So there we are using ID in the circle, right?
ID in of, yes, you have to use the set of IDs.
Okay.
So basically your question is, I have a SOQL query. So this is list of account. Okay, so name of this is account contact list. Okay, and here we are going to write the SOQL select ID comma name comma select ID from contact. Okay, from account. So this is normal query. Now I wanted to check whether contact, get me the contact where the account is there. So you can add where ID in, you can pass the account ID list here. You have to pass account IDs. When we are writing the inner query, take always plural object name, not the singular.
Can you execute once that?
This single line does not work because I have to store the IDs first. Now what is happening? Single account, I'm going to get the multiple contacts here. Here I cannot write the where condition because I'm already within the account. I'm already within the account. It is going to give me the contacts that have an account.
Okay, and what will happen if I write from like select ID name colon select ID comma select ID from contact from account where ID in bracket select ID from contact, then it will be work without set.
Can you repeat that? You wanted to write a where condition within the inquiry?
Yeah, like no, out of the query that is from account where ID in and in bracket select ID from contact.
You can write that.
Without set, right?
Yes. Try that. Instead of this, what you can do is, this is the wrong way to do. Instead of this, what you can do is you can do the query on the contacts and then where account ID equal to, you write this select ID. Because what is the necessary of writing this here? When you have already inner query, which is giving you the already accounts that are connected to the contact.
Okay, yeah.
It is giving me the contact, okay, that has the account. But in case if I wanted to know, this will give all the accounts, but there are some accounts which does not have a contact. In that case, what I can do is let's try this, where account ID and in does not work here. In does not work in the query editor, so do not try that in. Now, in this case, I just need to take only one ID. Control X, let's go to the developer console. Okay, then I wanted to print this. This is from contact. System.debug. Let's see what will happen. 18th line.
We have to take select ID, comma account ID. So, is this?
Why do you need account ID? I don't think so. You need the account ID.
I think you don't need it, doesn't matter. From account ID, from contact, where record ID, select ID from account. Oh, you need to have a square bracket, am I right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But let's try.
Inline query, is it possible? I guess it is not possible.
Which inline query? So basically it will give me the all the contacts that have the account. So let's go ahead and get the size. So 30 records are there. 30 records are there. So you can write the account like this also. But this, if you try to execute in the query editor, it will fail. Because in and equal to colon does not understood by the query editor. In or equal to does not understood by the query editor. So you cannot write those into here because basically these things has a dynamic SOQL. Whatever is a dynamic SOQL is there, even for the equal to colon, in colon, this whatever we use, any modification to this SOQL if you do, that will not executed here. It is directly equal to, but equal to of this does not work.
I just write down that circle.
Okay, shall I move on?
Yeah, thank you.
interview questions. The first one. What is CRUD operation? What is DML? What are different type of DMLs? What is atomic DML? What is non-atomic DML? How to pass dynamic value to SOQL. Dynamic value of single as well as the multiple. Single value and multiple values. What is the difference between writing a SOQL outside of the loop and writing the SOQL within the loop? Can CRUD operation performed within the loop? If no, why? Assignment. Pull the account records where industry equal to where industry has banking information. And look through each record get the total count of accounts. Get all the opportunities that has account ID get all the opportunities along with the accounts information. That means we need to see opportunities as well as the account both together. Get opportunity, related contact, as well as related account. Related account. That means related contact name, related account name, comma, industry. This means opportunity. On the opportunity, I'll be having a contact. From the contact, get me the account ID. Do not take it the account ID from the opportunity. Take the account from contact. Get opportunity products for each opportunity. So in case if you do not have a data in the opportunity product, create the opportunity products and get it. Get account contact relationship records based on the account ID. Okay. This is the object. Account contact relationship is the object, which is a junction object provided by Salesforce. So based on the account ID, get the account information as well as the contact information from the account contact relationship. Fine. Okay, then let's move on to the advanced admin.